There's probably a witness somewhere in a criminal proceeding, somewhere in the world, who has been more thoroughly discredited than Lucy DeCoutere, who is the second complainant in the John Ghomeshi sex trial. So there's probably someone like that somewhere, and I just don't know about it. But I got to tell you, what happened in that courtroom today was really astonishing to watch. Lucy DeCoutere, who of course is the former Trailer Park Boys actor, an RCAF captain, well-spoken, rather gorgeous, really together young woman, was cross-examined, the rest of her cross-examination today, by Marie Hennon, Ghomeshi's lead lawyer. And one of the things she's always maintained in the almost 2 years, I guess, since the Ghomeshi scandal first broke in the press, and Lucy DeCoutere went to court to get the pub ban that is mandatory for victims of sexual assault. She got it removed because she, wanted to put a face to this cause. And she did. And in 19 media interviews before and after she went to the police, in her police statement, in her testimony yesterday, the one thing probably that she's said more often than anything else is that after this weekend in July of 2003, when she says Ghomeshi put his hand on her throat, choked the breath out of her, and slapped her hard 3 times across the face. Once that happened, she said she had no romantic interest in him at all. This was July 4th, 2003. She wasn't interested. She had been. She's quite frank about that. She thought he was a pretty cool guy. But after this happened, though she admits she maintained a cordial kind of business friendship, if you like, with him, she said there was never anything romantic. I didn't have any feelings for him except odd, awkward feelings. So today in cross-examination, Marie Hennon presents her with an astonishing series of emails that she wrote. One of them was written the day after. Now, we've already seen pictures of Lucy and John Ghomeshi in Riverdale Park. We know they went out for brunch, they went to a barbecue the next day, they met up at an art show. But now we know that on July 5th, 2003, she wrote him an email, and it was a romantic type email. And in it she said, you really kicked my ass last night, and it makes me want to fuck your brains out tonight. So that's the email. That was on July 4th, 2003. On July 9th, 2003, and by now Lucy DeCoutere is back at her Halifax home, and she writes an old-fashioned letter, an actual handwritten letter to John Ghomeshi. It's dated right there. And she talks about a lot of things in it. She goes over their recent weekend together. She says, I loved spending time with you this weekend. You are hilarious. And I really loved seeing you becoming progressively more relaxed with me. I mean, really, what on earth could be better than lying with you, listening to music, and having peace? Nothing. And then she goes on some more. She's a talker, this one. So she says, I really have to go to sleep. It's very late. Jan, you're great. And I want to know more, have more easy, fun times with you, because it is so very rare, right? Who am I trying to kid? I am sad we didn't spend the night together. I could have been more open with you in person rather than with pen and paper. I find disclosures in cafes tricky. And then she says, and Marie Hennon had Lucy DeCoutere read this last line out aloud herself in court. And the last line says, I love your hands. I love your hands. Your hands that, according to Lucy DeCoutere's evidence in chief, 5 days earlier, had choked the life out of her briefly and then slapped her hard. I mean, I've never seen a witness so thoroughly done in a cross-examination than this. And, as for what it means, I don't know what it means. Does it mean the assault never happened? It sure raises a possibility that it never happened. Does it mean that Lucy DeCoutere has not been forthcoming with the police and the Crown attorneys? It sure does. She came in, before she took the witness stand yesterday morning, she had a meeting with the Crown attorneys and the police, where for the first time in all this time, she told them some of the things she testified to in chief, that they kissed, that She sent Mr. Ghomeshi flowers when she got back to Halifax after he purportedly choked her. I mean, it's unbelievable. None of it makes sense. And the advocates sort of for victims of domestic violence and intimate partner abuse have no place in this discussion. This guy's on trial for his freedom. I mean, he could go to jail if he were to be convicted. And now I think there is some real reasonable doubt that maybe this particular incident, at least, ever happened. It's a shocking day.